Gentlemen, gentlewomen, and most importantly, gamers, welcome back to episode 3 of my own personal backlogged audit. To start off, I'm just gonna say I looked back at a lot of my rankings, particularly at 5-star rankings, and I adjusted a lot of them because 5-star, I kind of had to ask myself, what is although I'm not saying it's a perfect game, still, what should get a 5 out of 5 rating? And I kind of realized I was watching back the other 2 episodes. I want to do a bit more auditing, in real time, really thinking, okay, is Eternal Darkness Standing's Requiem truly a 2.5 out of 5 or a 2 out of 5? Is it a 2.5? Is it a 3?
I'm gonna let you in on a little secret.
I want to do a little bit more of that and adjust these ratings on the fly a lot more.
Give yourself a present.
So, okay, with that being said, let's start. Eternal Darkness Standing's Requiem.
Let it happen.
Played this probably 3 years ago. I thought it was a awful survival horror game. I remember it feeling like a slog. You get to go to different parts in time, and they have their own, each one has their own unique story. But man, outside of that, I thought it was gimmicky. Sure, the gimmicks it has are cool, but that was not nearly enough to make me enjoy this game. So, and I played it on GameCube. I kind of like this dude. I don't know if I agree that no one would have given a shit if it wasn't on the GameCube. But I mean, people like it. I don't know if they've actually played it, because again, it is a pretty rough game. Now, 2 may be rough. Considering Devil May Cry 2 is a 1-star, I'll bump it up to a 2.5. It's not awful. It's just boring. I think I remember it being. Yeah, combat wasn't really fun. But yeah, that's Eternal Darkness. EU4. I've put maybe 25-30 hours into this game. As a matter of fact, let me check. Oh yeah, and I'm on the 4K monitor. You must understand, this is super awkward for me, given my setup, to do it this way. But you get to see more of the screen. Let's see. How many hours do I have in Europa? 26 hours. I still have no idea what's going on in this game. But it's really cool. It's really fun. And I had a Sherpa essentially guide me throughout this game. And it was so much fun playing as him. I played as Castile mainly, which was Spain before Spain. Castile merged with Aragon. Again, I mean, you learned a lot of really cool history as well. I think it takes place from 1403 to 1803 is the timeline. But yeah, great game. The Evil Withins. So the first one, I didn't play too much of. I remember not liking it a lot, but I think it's because I played it on Xbox One originally. Somewhere close to launch, maybe. And I did not like the fact that it didn't run well. There was mandatory film grain and letterboxing, which I didn't like. And I don't know, outside of that, I think I beat the first 2 or 3 chapters or missions. I didn't finish it, but the second one I actually really enjoyed. So 4 out of 5, I think that's fair. It takes an open world approach to its gameplay, but it kind of works. Now the open world itself is not that interesting, but the actual horror elements, the story was cool. There was some really cool imagery in this game, I remember. So yeah, really cool horror game. I may give the first one another shot, and then if I really enjoy it, I may give this another shot, but no plans in the future. The first Fable, I remember I have played this game, couldn't tell you anything about it. I do want to play it at some point. I have it on the original Xbox, but oh yeah, and the new Fable's coming out this year, or next year, who knows when. I think I've also played Fable 3, but again, not played nearly enough to give any kind of opinion on, and it was a while ago. But yeah, Fable, I hear it's cool. So Factorio. So this is a game. Is it a 5? Is it a 4.5? I don't know. When I played it, this is like all I played for a week. And I sucked at it. My whole production line was super unorganized. But man, this game is like, okay, well, I was gonna say it's like crack. I did not read this guy's comment. But no, it really is like crack. It is so addicting. And you're constantly looking on how to improve your production line. How can you make your line more efficient? How can you expand it? It's so interesting. And I know most people have probably played, I shouldn't say most, more people have played Satisfactory. I have not played that yet. But man, if it's as good as Factorio, I'll probably give it a shot. But yeah, Factorio, awesome game. Is it a 4? Is it 4.5 or a 5? I'll keep it at a 5. Fall Guys, I think a 3 is fair. Oh, so does the community. I played it at launch. It was fun. It was cute. Didn't play it for much longer. I think we all know what Fall Guys is. So Fallouts. I've played 1, 3, 4 New Vegas. I've not played 2 or like the PS2 games. I think the PS2 game is, what is it called? Like like Brotherhood of Steel? What is it called? I don't know. There's 2 different ones on PS2. Yeah. No, that's Tactics. I haven't played Tactics either. Oh well. But let's start with the first one. I've played a little bit of this one, not too much. I will probably play it a lot this semester because I have an MBA class and it's gonna be a joke. It'll be an easy A, so I'll just play this during class. Oh yeah. Fallout Brotherhood of Steel. That's the PS2 game. It seemed cool. Of course, it is a little clunky. And I do want to play the second one because the second one's apparently a lot better and it improves in a lot of ways. It's a pretty surprising rating, I think, for the first one. I don't know if I'd put it that high, but then again, I haven't played enough. Fallout 3. So I played 3 and 4 back to back and got the achievements, all the achievements in both of them. This seems a little crazy, but I played this on Xbox on my Series S. I was surprised how good this game was because I remember playing it when I was a kid and I did not like it, but I love New Vegas. I'm gonna talk about New Vegas in a little bit. But yeah, I got all the achievements. I didn't do any of the like DLCs, but I went and bought the Game of the Year edition on 360 in case I want to in some point in the future. But yeah, the world I like. I think it takes place in DC. Yeah, it's DC. DC was super cool to explore. Now, as for like, now this is what New Vegas does really well, is like interacting with people. This game kind of has that, but again, I think its main strengths are the environment you get to explore, the setting it has, and just kind of the enemies are really cool too, and VATS is decent. There are some cool missions in Fallout 3. I think a 4 out of 5 is perfectly valid. New Vegas, I played this as I shouldn't say a kid. I was probably like 12 or 13 when I played it first. Beat it, loved it then. Played it again probably 4 years ago. Loved it there still. This game, sure, it is annoying to have to walk around a lot in the early hours of the game. But man, it's kind of like this game does what people say Breath of the Wild does, and we'll get to Breath of the Wild. That'll be probably one of my hotter takes. But this game actually has, like, you will see stuff in the distance, and it's not some stupid shrine or it's not something insignificant. It's a whole quest line waiting for you. Some random mine, and then like there's something in the mine, or you know, talk to someone and they tell you to go to the mine, and then it just branches out from there. The weapons are really cool. This game has weapon customization, which I don't think was in 3. But yeah, fantastic game. Awesome side quests, super cool characters. New Vegas itself is actually a really cool area to explore, but so is all of the desert. And look, I get it's annoying in the beginning having to walk everywhere. That's a fair critique. But man, if you're willing to put that aside for the first couple hours and just enjoy exploring this area, there's a fantastic game waiting for you. So yeah, 5 out of 5. Totally agree. Fallout 4, you'll notice it's my lowest rated one. I played this after 3, essentially for the first time, about 2 years ago. And I was not impressed. I did a melee build. I did a pure melee build, which I never do in like these kind of RPGs. I usually like to stay range. I like to be stealth. In Skyrim, my first build was when I was a kid. I did do a stealth archer, even though every build, you know, devolves into a stealth archer. But Fallout 4, I don't know. Sure, the gameplay and combat is good. It's fine. I couldn't tell you anything about the story. I don't remember anything about the story of Fallout 4. I can't tell you any of the characters. I remember the one detective ghoul guy. He was pretty cool. But, you know, Boston, I think this is in Boston. Sure, let's say it's in Boston. It's cool, you know, it's a cool enough area to explore, and there is some verticality to this game, which I do like. In the cities, you can go up pretty high. I like verticality in games. I'll admit, if you got that in the game, I can be sold on it pretty easily. But yeah, Fallout 4, I was not impressed with Fallout 4, even though I've heard a lot of good things about it, but I don't know, it just didn't have that sauce. The Far Cry games. So Far Cry 2 I've played a little bit of. It is on the backlog. I do want to play it because it looks cool. You kind of have to like, I'm playing Kingdom Come Deliverance right now, and it seems there is a similar, I don't know, design philosophy in this game of taking care of yourself. And like, this game definitely has more interactivity with your environment. I've seen, of course, I think we've all seen like the fire physics and the fire mechanics. You start a fire like here in this grass, and it spreads like pretty rapidly and pretty far. So I do want to check this game out, at least for the technical side. Far Cry 3, it's been a minute since I've played this, but I did love it when I first played it. 4.5 may be a little high, especially nowadays. I'm gonna drop it to a 4. But no, the island's super cool. You kind of feel like a badass as you're playing the game. The tattoo mechanic, that was your upgrade system, was really cool. I thought they had like significant upgrades, and there were plenty of them that made you kind of feel like, oh wow, this is gonna make me play the game differently, and they do. Guns felt fine, but I think in this game, once you found your gun, you're pretty complacent in your weapon loadout. You find a gun you like, and you just use it for the rest of the game. There's not a lot of variety. But of course, Voss is really cool. But yeah, 4. That's sure. You know what? I'm okay with that. I have played Blood Dragon, but I couldn't tell you anything about it. It was a long time ago. Far Cry 4. It's funny, at the time, if you asked me if I liked 4 more than 3, I may have said yes. I remember I liked 4 specifically because of the environment. I thought the environment was really cool. I think it's in Tibet is where this takes place. Where's Far Cry 4 take place? This is so awkward to type because my screen's moved around. It's in the Himalayas. Yeah. India, Nepal, Tibet. Okay. So yeah, I thought that was interesting. The villain, I don't remember much about him, to be honest. But this game had co-op, and I did play co-op with someone, and that was really fun. But I don't know, it's pretty vague. But I think a 4 out of 5 is fine. Far Cry 5. Yeah, I played this close to launch. A 3 maybe a little low, but I liked exploring. This takes place in Montana. Yeah, Montana. I liked exploring Montana. I thought, you know, the whole cult mechanic was cool. The fact that there's like, I think there's 3 main villains, even though he's the main villain. There's like 2 side villains. That was really cool, having to go fight them. I don't think I beat this game, but I did get close because he was the only one left. And it has great like snot mechanics, so It has that going for it. Primal, I played this on PS4. I remember liking Primal. I don't think I would like it today. But yeah, that's all I can say about Primal. It's been a long time since I've played Primal. Fez, super simple puzzle game where you can rotate your perspective in order to solve puzzles. You know, simple. Don't have much to say about it. That is the game. That's the gimmick. You rotate your perspective to solve puzzles. That's it. Okay, FIFAs. In 2014 and 2015, I really got into FIFA, and I met like a really good friend playing FIFA, and we had so much fun. I know it seems kind of crazy to give this like a 4-star and to give 15 a 4.5, but man, you just had to be there. You had to be there. Ultimate Team was so much fun. And like, sure, I know objectively these games aren't this, but for me personally, and FIFA Street, this game rocks. I've not played any of the originals. I played a little bit of 2, but maybe 30 minutes. This game, I played the demo for this game so much on 360. And then I got a full copy on 360, and I just went to town. It is so much fun. It is so sick. Just embarrassing your opponents. And again, I think I would feel the same for FIFA Street 1, 2, and 3. But this game in particular had the mechanic where I think if you held LT, you would not move. If you moved the left stick, the ball would move, like in relation to your character. You would just hold LT or left trigger, and just move the stick around. You do crazy shit with the ball. But yeah, this game rocks. Okay, Final Fantasies. The most recent one I've played is 7 on PlayStation 1 on a CRT, original hardware. This 4, you have no idea how much of this 4 is carried by the story. And oh no, this is not the most recent. 7 Remake is the most recent I've played. This is carried by the story, music, and characters. The gameplay itself, it gets old really quick. What you're essentially doing is you have to have Aerith in your party because she has Healing Wind, which was so clutch because she heals your whole party to full off a limit. And you're just kind of waiting for your limit breaks to come back up, and then that's how you do a lot of your damage to a lot of bosses and a lot of enemies. A lot of these fights just went on for way too long, and I didn't grind. I never grinded once in this game. I didn't look up any like builds or where to get the best weapons. The only real hiccup I had was at the end, the final boss. And it's mainly because it's a stupid decision where the final dungeon, you only get one save point and you decide where it goes. So you have no idea how far you are into a dungeon. And I just guessed, okay, maybe here, I'll place it here. And then I did the rest of the dungeon. Turns out Sephiroth can turn your party into frogs, which is annoying because that means you lose. So I had to go back out of the dungeon, which was super annoying, get a ring that allows me to not be turned into a frog, and then I beat him first try. And it took forever. So yeah, the gameplay itself is like whatever. I didn't know anything about 7's story before playing this. I know about Aerith, of course. Everybody knows about Aerith. But man, it was awesome. Super awesome story. The music is fantastic. The characters really, really surprised me. Barrett was like annoying at first, but man, he is so awesome. It's a great character. Cloud's relationship with Tifa and Aerith is awesome. The other, like, Red 13's pretty cool. Vincent is okay. My final party, by the way, in the final fight, not that you care, was Cloud. I think it was Vincent and Red 13 was my final party. But yeah, it's a good game, but man, if you are turned off by tedious combat, I wouldn't blame you if you didn't finish it. So 7 Remake, I just played. 3.5 is pretty generous. I may drop it to a 3, but I don't know, dude. I mean, because like it's maybe it's not fair because I had just played 7. I know the story, so I'm not playing this game for the story, even though it makes some changes, which are the changes they made I don't really care for. But I'm not playing this game for the story. The characters are still good. Aerith is super annoying in this game. Her missions with her, I think it was like mission 8 or something, was so annoying. You're just walking around. A lot of this game is walking through corridors. That's a lot of this game. And the combat is pretty mid. One of my least favorite boss fights of all time is in this game. Hell House. It was a 30-minute fight where it was just us slowly whittling down its health, because I don't think it had any weaknesses. And it just took forever, because in this game you can evade easily enough. But I don't know. I think a 3 is okay. Like it was fine. I thought about dropping it, but it does get better halfway through. The combat becomes a little more meaningful. You feel like you're actually playing into the opponent's weaknesses a little more in the second half. But man, that first half was rough, and I was excited to play this. But yeah, 3 out of 5. Did I talk about Crisis Core? Yeah, I have. So Final Fantasy 12 was my first Final Fantasy when I was a kid. I got it, probably played it, I don't know, let's say I was 9 or 10 years old. I remember liking it as a kid. I liked the combat, I liked the world, but again, I was a kid. I've not played it since then, so I do want to go back and check it out at some point. I bet it's pretty good. 13 is the first game I properly played. Again, probably 13. The PS3 putting dude, 10 to 13. I was in my prime on the PS3, dude. But FF13, I loved the visuals in this game. I thought it was the most incredible thing ever. The game looks gorgeous. Some of the best cutscenes in gaming, even today. The story, I didn't follow it as a kid. I tried playing this again in college, and then I think Elden Ring came out, so I dropped it. But yeah, I do want to go back and play this game. The music is the best music in the series, in my opinion. I think it's fantastic. Yeah, 3.5. I could see it going higher. I really did like this game, even on my playthrough in college. I was really enjoying. I got like 13 hours in on Steam, I think. Here, well, 13.5 hours. Like I was in it. I was in, but then Elden Ring came out. So, oh wait, February 2020. That's not Elden Ring. Maybe it was something else. I think something else came out and I stopped. Okay. But yeah, I intend on coming back to this game. And you may be wondering, will I play 7 Rebirth? I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm really not inclined to. I'll tell you that. I really don't want to, but we'll see. Maybe it's on sale like in a year and a half. I may give it a shot. Or if part 3 comes out and it's really good, I'll give it a shot. FF15, really liked this game. I played the first half of it on Xbox One, and then I came back like 2 years later and beat it. So it was not a continuous playthrough, but I really liked the combat in FF15. I did. It's simple. Yeah, it's one button to attack, but you can alter your attacks by moving the left stick in conjunction with the button press. I thought it was super slick. The fact that you could just dash around the place, I thought that was really, really cool. And like, if you're playing this game for the relationship with these 4, it is so sick. I forgot how they described it at launch, but this is like the strongest part of the game is the relationship between the 4 guys and watching it grow. And this game has some sick boss fights, do not get it wrong. So yeah, 4 out of 5, I think that's fair. FF16, okay. I don't know if this is a hot take saying it's like a 3 out of 5. But man, I just did not. It's not that I didn't enjoy it. I just thought it was so mediocre, this game. Sure, some of the boss fights are really good, but the actual combat against regular enemies I mean, once you get it down, like there's no going further, you know, like once you understand it, you have understood it. The story I did not care for. The final boss is really cool though. I think Clive is an okay main character. His relationship with Joshua, you know, it's fine. None of the side characters I found interesting, except for what's the dude who meets him initially? Sid, I think his name is. But yeah, I don't know. I did not particularly enjoy my time with FF16. I was rushing through it. I was doing some side quests in the beginning, but halfway through the game, I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna rush the story. The finals. I love the finals. This game, I don't know how it didn't get nominated for best multiplayer last year. Okay, yeah, that's still eligible for Game Awards 2024. Again, this game is carried by its environmental destruction. That's obvious. And no match plays the same. And that's what really sets it apart. Your team's play style totally influences how the match plays out. If you're 3 lights, you're not gonna be doing a lot of destruction, but you're super mobile. Light is by far the funnest, most fun class to play in the finals. But yeah, it's free. You can check it out. You probably know it exists. It was a lot of ex-Battlefield developers who made it, and now they're making Arc Raiders, which is going to be an extraction shooter, which I'm really excited for. But yeah, this game rocks. I put maybe I think it's in my favorites. Yeah, 23 hours. Not as much as I thought. But yeah, awesome game. Firewatch? I don't know if I should be putting a rating for this. I have beaten it, but man, it's been a long time. I remember being simple, you know, good enough. An 8 though, or a 4. I'll drop it to a 3.5. Yeah, that seems fine. Like I'm trying to think of the gameplay moments, but it really is just you walking around, and that's fine. It's a really beautiful game to look at. I don't know. Don't take this too seriously. It's been a long time since I've played it. Five Nights at Freddy's. I mean, if you asked me in 2014, I'd say it's really cool. But let's be honest, it's pretty mid. I've only played the first one. I don't think I've played any of these. No. Now, there is a VR game that's supposed to be pretty... Help Wanted 2. This is supposed to be pretty good. But, yeah, 3.7. Modern day... Okay, shout out to Meta Publishing. Modern day Five Nights at Freddy's game, getting that is impressive. 3.6. What is... I've never even heard of this one. Okay. But yeah, you know, it's whatever. Forager, played this a little bit. The cute little, how would you describe it? Crafting exploration, that's fair. Base building, I don't know about that. I mean, you can like construct stuff, but it's fine. We played 30 minutes of it. I can't give an opinion on it. Oh, dude, For Honor. I have not played this since 2017, but man, in 2017, I played this so much, and I think I was pretty good. I don't think I was just playing against children. Like, I was messing it up in this game. Now, I see it's at a 3, and it may just be because it's gotten stale or something. There's a ton of classes I would not recognize, probably over half the cast. But man, I'm telling you, dude, on launch, this game was it. It was so much fun. Fortnite, I've played maybe 30 minutes of Fortnite. I just don't think it would click with me, and I think I'm right. But yeah, you know Fortnite. Forza Horizon 4 and 5. 4 is the London one, or the Britain one, I should say. I did play this. I don't think I played nearly enough of it to give a ranking, though. Yeah, you know what? I'm actually gonna do that. Let me make sure that tracked. Yeah. Now, Forza 5 I have played plenty of. This is a really fun racing game. I've not played a lot of simulation style racing games. This is actually one of the few that I have played. But man, I got this on the Series S. When was this, 2021? Yeah, this is close to my graduation. I played this. Oh yeah, this was on Game Pass. I played this like right after I graduated college. Man, this game, yeah, it's fun. It's a super fun racing game. If you're not into it, fair enough, but I would give it a shot, especially if you have Game Pass. Frostpunk. I should not be rating this. This is more of a perspective rating. I played maybe 2 hours of it. But from what I've played, it is cool. The fact that you can make decisions, and of course this game has child labor, which is really cool. I don't know, I think I did have one playthrough that ended up failing pretty late on, but I've seen a lot of videos on it. I think a 4 out of 5 is fair. Even though I don't remember much about the game, I think that's a fair rating. The original F-Zero, it's fun, like a 3.5. Yeah, the game's fun. It's simple. Think of F-Zero 99, but only against, how many people do you go against this game? It's not 12. It may be more than 12, but no, it's fun. It's a fun game. It's simple. But dude, F-Zero GX, this is my favorite racing game of all time. It is so fast. The controls are so tight. The tracks are so sick. And man, there is nothing like coming from 10th place to first place in the last 10 seconds of a match, because you have been saving your boost and you hit every turn right. Oh, dude, there's nothing like it. This game rocks. My favorite racing game of all time. Hard as shit too. Certain campaign missions, every campaign mission on the hard difficulty. But man, it is a difficult one, but it's so much fun. Gang Beasts, played this with my friends. Oh wait, no, I haven't. When did I play Gang Beasts? I think I may have played it like, I don't know. It's been a long time, but I've seen a lot of people play it. 3 out of 5, you know what? Sure. I have played this. I'll keep it 3 out of 5. Gary's Mod. Honestly, I don't know why I wouldn't give this a 5-star. It has so many game modes you can play. Like, of course, there's Prop Hunt, Hide and Seek, Trouble in Terrace Town. I mean, Vanoss has, there's so much enjoyment from that channel alone, but that's not the game itself. I maybe played, you know, like 20-30 hours of Gary's Mod. 4.5 out of 5. Sure. You know what? Sure. I'll keep it there. But yeah, I mean, fantastic games. Gears of War 1 through 3. I'm gonna be honest. It's been a schminute since I've played the Gears of War games. I do remember loving 2 and 3. 4, I remember being okay. I forgot I even had 4 right here. I've beaten all of them. 4 was fine. I think the gameplay was solid, I remember, but the main character's mid, and I couldn't tell you anything about the story. I know, what's it? Not Marcus Phoenix, is it? What's the main guy's name? Oh, come on. It is Marcus Phoenix. He makes a return in 4, but so the first one, again, I played these 3 back to back on 360. And yeah, I just remember them being fantastic games, especially 2 and 3. I'm gonna be honest, these may not be fair rankings because it's been so long, but just from recollection, I think these would be fair. 3.6 is surprising. I'd imagine these games being a little higher. Like, what does 2 have? 3.9? 3.9, really? Yeah, I may have to give these a shot. I may have to audit these. 3.2. Yeah, I'm gonna have to audit these eventually, but for now, I'm comfortable with this because, again, I really did enjoy these 2. I did not play the multiplayer for these. This is purely single player. Genshin, played maybe an hour of it. That's it. That's all I could say. I played an hour of it, did not fall in love with it. Ghost of Tsushima, this is one of the ones that I had as a 5-star, but I really had to think about it. It's close. It is really close between a 4.5 and a 5. What does it come down to? Why would I not give it a 5? Because the combat's solid. The story is pretty good. I like Jin Sakai. He's cool. He's a cool pro tag. I don't know. The music's good. Of course, it's a beautiful game. I don't know. I'll play it before Ghost of Yote comes out, because I didn't play the director's cut. I played the base version on PS5, but I now have the director's cut with the extra island. I'll give it another shot and I'll see if it deserves a 4.5 or a 5, but it's close. Fantastic game though. Ghost Runner, I really liked Ghost Runner. People say it's really fast paced. It kind of is. It's not super fast paced, but it's essentially a puzzle game. It's just room clearing, and you have to figure out the correct way to clear the room. Now you can deviate, but there's like an obvious way to do it, and it was fun figuring that out with, you know, precise gameplay required. So yeah, really good game. I'm gonna drop it to a 4. I don't think it's deserving of a 4.5. I think a 4 is fair. I've not played 2, but I do want to. Ghostwire Tokyo, played this on PS5. Why did I not like this game? I think it's mainly because the combat got stale after a while. But I will say this, the story was really interesting. That's what kept me going, was the story. And also the fact that this is a really faithful recreation of Tokyo. Like, I don't know if there's another game that does Tokyo quite like this, and just how well thought out and realized it is. But the demons are cool. I don't know. Maybe a 3.5. But again, I didn't finish it. That's a little rough, but it's also because I wanted to get all the trophies in this game. And once I realized I couldn't, that may have been what put me off. Lots of stuff to collect, some side quests, but all this stuff doesn't really feel as well knit together as it should. That's fair. I don't know, 3. I'm gonna keep it at a 3 because I didn't finish it. If I had finished it, maybe it deserves a 7, but I'll keep it there. But again, it has some really strong, some really high highs. But unfortunately, the combat, it did not hook me. Okay, Goat Simulator. It's fine. It's harmless. I'm surprised that this has many low ratings. Are these like boomers? But I think I got all the achievements in this game. It's fine. It's fun. There's lots of different. There's like a Flappy Bird game in this, I think. Oh, dude, I played God Hand last semester on PS2. This game is so good, dude. I'm considering giving it a 5 because the combat, again, you are playing this game for the combat. The comedy is really good in this game too. But and there's also video poker. I played half of my game time in this was video poker because it's so fun. But no, the combat, if you don't know God Hand, it has a purely modular combat system where every single move in your combo, which is square, you can adjust. Your first hit is this move, your second hit is this move, similar to Absolver. But this game just does it so much better, and it's also hard. It is a hard game. The only reason I wouldn't give it a 5 is because the story's mid. That's the only reason though. And you know, the soundtrack's a little whatever. But if we're talking about gameplay, this game's awesome, like close to perfect, I would say, in terms of gameplay. But because that's all that really has going for it, and the comedy, I don't know, a 5 just misses out on a 5. Okay, the God of Wars. This will be another one of my hot takes. Loved the first 3 God of Wars. I played, my very first one was God of War 3. And we'll talk about that. But God of War 1 and 2, I remember being really fun. I'm gonna drop this to a 4. Now God of War 2 should be like a 4.5. Yeah, that's fair. I enjoyed 2 more than 1. If I had to give you a reason, I don't know, I feel like the environments are more enjoyable. I think the bosses were better in God of War 2. but again, it's pretty close. I think I don't know. I don't remember much of the weapons being that much different, or like being, I should say different, but like way better. But again, God of War 1 and 2, I loved these games. I think I beat the first one twice. That's how much I loved it. I haven't played 2 in a while, but God of War 3 is definitely like a top like 30 or 40 for me. This game is so sick. The weapons rock. The bosses are incredible. It is a great hack and slash. The story, you know the story. He's just trying to kill every god on Mount Olympus. It is so sick. Such a sick video game. 5 out of 5, totally. 100% deserves a 5 out of 5. My favorite God of War. My second favorite God of War is probably Chains of Olympus on PSP. I played this in DC. I had an internship in DC, and I beat this game in like 2 days. On a PSP. I don't know. I think I just remember, I can't remember too much about it or like any of the bosses or anything, but I could not put this game down. I remember being shocked at how good it was for a PSP game. And I bet if I went back to it, I would give it a 5-star again. This is interesting. How much is like, what is it? Ghost of Sparta? People rate this higher than Chains of Olympus? I don't think I'm getting them mixed up, am I? Maybe I am. I may be getting these two mixed up because I can't tell you a single difference in the story between these two or the gameplay, but I played both of them like back to back. I may be getting them mixed up. Again, I will probably play the OG God of Wars again sometime in the future. But yeah, both of these games are fantastic. Ascension I played on PS3. Well, that's the only way you can play it. I thought it was really cool. I liked the look of the game. It did look a little like, it tried to look a little bit more, I don't know, like the graphical style tried to look a little too realistic. I think it was trying too hard. But I remember the combat being super visceral and really cool set pieces. I think the place they trap you in, because you start off trapped. I don't know how to describe it, but yeah, I remember this game being really good, but it's been a long time, so I may have to check it out again. Okay, so now that those are handled, I need to check out these two again, because again, that was only, oh no, that was 6 years ago since I've played these. So yeah, I need to check these out again. But I think I'm confident that these would say the same, and these games are just so good. Just on a ground level, these games are so good. God of War 2018 is fine. It's totally fine. The thing that carries this game is the story and the relationship with Atreus. Like, obviously, the combat in this game, I do not like. And it's not because I'm a boomer. I'm 25, okay? I'm not stuck in my ways or anything. What really pissed me off about the combat, I'm sure there are a lot of really cool combo options and a lot of cool paths you can take to get your combos looking flashy and them being really visceral. But I played on hard mode, like the hard difficulty. Enemies don't stagger in this game. You'll hit them 2 or 3 times and then it's their turn to attack and you have to dodge. So, and I beat this when it came out, and then I didn't beat it again. I played it again like 3 years ago, got halfway through and put it down. And it's because of the combat. And like walking everywhere, it's not super fun. But again, it was just hit, dodge, hit, dodge. There was no like true combos going on in this game, I feel. Now maybe that's a skill issue, I don't know, but I swear those enemies never staggered. And that was my biggest issue, is that it just felt like a slog, the combat. Now the boss fights suck, except for like a couple. Obviously Baldur is really cool both times you fight him. The scene where in the final fight where you and Atreus are falling and Atreus is shooting Balder while falling. That was sick. Like, that's super sick. There are sick moments in this game, but God, the combat, I just couldn't. I couldn't do it. I did not like the combat either time I played the game. Now a 3 may be a little harsh, 3.5, because again, the story's really good and the bond with Atreus is also really good. So maybe a 3.5 is better than a 3, but it's close. I'll give it a 3.5. Okay, Ragnarok. This is the last one I have played. I gave this a 3.5 off rip. It takes a step back in the story and the bond with Atreus, but I think it takes a big step forward in combat. I think the combat in this game is undoubtedly better than in 2018, and for me that's a big deal, especially when I'm playing a God of War game. I did not like the open zone mechanic, I should say, in either game, but maybe I should make it a 4, because here's the difference. I got the platinum in this game. I did enjoy it enough to go for a platinum, and that does say something. So this game has some really cool boss fights as well, some really cool set pieces. When you rescue someone in like a jungle environment, and it's like this chase scene, that's a really sick sequence. But again, I do not like these as much as the traditional God of Wars. Yeah, that's, I know maybe a hot take to say God of War 2018 is my least favorite God of War. But I don't know, man. I didn't like it. Where did it go? What did I do? Did I add a game? Maybe I did. Oh well. So yeah, that's the God of War. If I had to go in order, I would say 3 is my favorite, bar none, and then one of these two. I'm a little confused now. I could have sworn it was Chains of Olympus. Oh wait, does Ghosts of Sparta have you go to like an island? Wait, one sec. Create stuff with Revel's past and process brother. Damage to the clutches of the good of death. ESP. Okay, Kratos Wizard's Trusty Blades. Yeah, whatever. Several new magical items. Offers their Temple of Zeus. Location where players spend the words apart. Okay, I don't know. If this one may be the one with the hold on. Ghost of Sparta. Let me see. I'll be able to tell pretty quickly. Wow, this game, oh, part 1, I'm about to say. Yeah, this is a whole ass PSP game. Both of these games are fantastic on PSP. This may be it. Because yeah, this looks like it would be on an island. I may be thinking of Ghosts of Sparta to be my favorite, and not Chains of Olympus. I don't know, but again, one of these two is my second favorite, then 2, and then from there it's kind of a free for all. But yeah, 2018 is probably my least favorite. Going Under is a roguelike. I think I could have sworn it was a roguelike. Didn't say it is. Didn't play too much of it, maybe like an hour and a half. It was fine. I don't think I would, I'm not inclined to go back and play it. 007, this game gets a lot of renewed hate. I don't know if I should say renewed, but newly acquired hate. Because, you know, sure, it's outdated, but man, if you've actually played it on an N64, it's still fun. It's still a really fun video game. Now, a 4, you know, maybe a 3 points, maybe a 3.5. But again, the game's still fun. So at least a 7. Did you kind of just run through the game? I don't remember it being very hard. There is the one boss fight on the, what is it? It's not like an oil rig. I forgot. But no, this game's still fun. I'd still have fun if I played it today. Golf Story is a really cute golfing, not RPG, just a golfing adventure story, I guess. Top-down golfing game, which I don't think I've seen a lot of at this point. I played it on Switch. I had a lot of fun with it. If I had to rate it, I didn't get super far. I maybe got 4 hours in. If I had to rate it, like a 3.5 seems fine. If I had to, but I don't think I have enough experience. Okay, Gone Home is my it's my lowest rated game, I think. And it's because I didn't know anything about this game going into it. Dude, I thought I was getting a horror game. It's a walking sim. It's a walking simulator. And I beat it. I remember I beat it. I couldn't tell you making a horror game without a horror game. Okay, this dude played the wrong game. Spooky vibes. Two out of 5 spooky vibes. Okay. But it's just walking. And the story, I don't remember anything about the story. So, you know what? 1 out of 5. Is it fair? Probably not. I say yes. Grand Theft Autos. Do I have any Grand Theft Auto that's a 3? No. And that's fair. These are all fun. Like, of course they are. Let's start with 3. Played 3 on iPhone originally, and then eventually came back and beat it on PS2. It's fun. It's simple. But again, it's a Grand Theft Auto game. The characters are really cool. The story is somewhat interesting. I don't remember much of the story. I shouldn't be saying that. But the characters, I do remember the characters being really cool and interesting in this game. And I can look back at, I can see myself playing it, and it sure, 3.5, that's fair. San Andreas. Okay, let's just get San Andreas out of the way. I've not played a lot of San Andreas. I've played maybe 2 hours of it, which of course is not nearly enough time to give a ranking on a game like this. It's on my backlog. I do need to play it. Vice City. Beat this on my phone or my iPod Touch in middle school. Or no, in high school. It was in high school. And then I came back and played a lot of it on PS2. I got pretty far on PS2. This game is so nice. Vice City is such a cool environment to explore. Again, every Grand Theft Auto, you're going to hear me say the characters are interesting. But this was my favorite until GTA 5, which we'll get to in a little bit. But Vice City, super fun game. What's next? Let's go Chinatown Wars. I think I beat this on PSP. Yeah, on PSP. This game, I was kind of surprised at how good it was, because this top-down perspective, it is limiting in terms of like your field of view, and driving can be pretty annoying because you're always running into stuff. But man, it's a fun game. There were so many cool gameplay quirks in this game, especially on DS, which I didn't play it on. I don't know, anyone finds 2D GTA fun? Okay, you're 13 years old. So this dude, I've seen this dude's comments a lot actually. JDub 2003, ain't no way this dude's over 20 years old. Ain't no way. Like actually, what is it? Brain rot, like brain rot brain. This game rocks. GTA 4, I need to play this again because I've not played it since. It's been over a decade since I played GTA 4, but man, I watched so many machinima videos on this game of just like people running into people and all these mods. The Carmageddon mod was so sick, where they set like the friction value of all cars tires some negative value or something, and they just go flying into space, and it's like it's Carmageddon. And it was such a cool video. And then I got the game and I destroyed this game. A 3.5, maybe a little low on my part, but it's been a while, so that's fair. This game is so deep mechanically. The cover system at the time was so revolutionary. The fact that anything could be used for cover. And then, you know, of course, people would complain about the driving. I had no issue with the driving. I bet if I played it again, it would go up to like a 4. But yeah, that's GTA 4. And then GTA 5, no introduction really needed. When this came out, this is all I did. This is probably a top 20 game all time for me. I am super excited for GTA 6. If anyone does not have this as their #1 most anticipated game of 2025, they are coping or they are like lying. GTA 5 was such a huge step for the industry. A game this open, this deep, this interactive, and I'm not including GTA Online. I'm not including that in this, although I have played it. I thought it was fine, just pretty grindy unless you pay to win. But no, super awesome story. You have 3 incredible main characters, and all 3 of them are super interesting. The whole idea of, I don't know, just the whole idea of getting all this money, making right decisions at the heists. The heists are the highlight of this game. They are so sick. But if you make your decisions wisely, you get more money from the heist, and you can choose how to spend that money. Do you want to get this car? Do you want to invest in the stock market? There is a stock market in this game. It pales in comparison to like making money other ways. But yeah, this game, I mean, it just has a little bit of everything. Such a sick game. Yeah, absolutely. Gravity Rush Remastered. Not gonna lie, I've not played a ton of it. Maybe 3 hours. So take this with a grain of salt. But it is such a cool concept. Like, I'm kind of getting this off the concept alone and how much they can improve upon that. I'm sure they do even more so in Gravity Rush 2. But just flying through the air, dude, and like the fact, the camera angles that they have and the way the wind hits your character just makes you feel like you are truly flying through the air. The combat seemed okay. The story, I did not get too far in the story. Can't speak much on it. Maybe it would drop down to 3.5, or maybe it would stay at a 4 if I actually beat the game. But I may give it another shot down the line. Pretty expensive on PS4, the physical copy, by the way. Grimlord, this is Dark Souls in VR. I played maybe 6 hours of this game. Let's see, let's check the tape. Grimlord. Oh, that's a lie. No, that's a lie. There's no shot I've only played 70 minutes of this game. I did so much. Okay, well, that's, hey, I'll take that L. I'll take that L right there. If I truly played 70 minutes, fair enough. But I liked what this game did. There's no shot I've only played it for 70. Let's assume I played it for like 2 hours, 2.5 hours, and it just logged it incorrectly. Steam somehow got it wrong. This game does combat decently. The combat's fun enough. Again, the most fun thing you can do in VR is shoot a bow and arrow. There's not a lot of traversal in this game, which I would have liked. That's also something really fun in VR games. It's just traversing vertically by climbing. The bosses were, you know, they're okay. I'm sure if I played it more, or if I beat it, and now I feel like I have to beat it because I just lied in 4K. But no, this game, it's fun. It's fun enough. It's Dark Souls VR. Grow Up. Yeah, I have played this. I think I played it on Xbox One. About all I can say. I think the idea is to keep going up. It's perfect. Okay, we'll talk about that later. Guilty Gear Strive. Didn't play this for very long. I don't know what it was about this game that didn't really click with me. This or Xrd. I have played Xrd, but I played Xrd even less, and I've played Strive. Got into online a little bit. I played Chip, I think his name is Chip Zangief or something. No, Zangief is the Street Fighter character, I think, but Xanath, Chip Xanath, that may be it. The game, sure, mechanically is pretty deep, but I don't know, I thought it was just fine. 3.5. The Guitar Heroes. These are childhood picks. There's a pretty good story with 3, but yeah, 1 and 2 I got the combo disc, and then a guitar. I still have the guitar on PS2 that I got that Christmas. But man, I played these games so much. The only reason they're not 5 stars is because this game exists. Got this a lot later, but I loved. Oh no, it wasn't this one. Never mind. Okay, so my neighbors originally had Guitar Hero 1 and 2, and I would go to their house and play it. And I just loved it. All I wanted to do when I went to their house was play that game, and they wanted to play football or something. But I don't know. I probably should have played. I did play. I did do it a couple times to appease them, but all I wanted to do was play Guitar Hero. And there was one day where they weren't home, but I knew where their key was, so I just broke into their house. Essentially, is what I did. I broke into their house and played Guitar Hero 2 in their room. And their mom got home and found me, and she's like, Kendall, what are you doing? Like, I'm just playing Guitar Hero. She's like, okay, well, you need to go back home and I'll talk to your mom about this. I'm like, oh, okay. I got in so much trouble, but I got Guitar Hero 1 and 2 that Christmas. So fantastic games. And then 3 is just like objectively the best out of those. These are the only 3 I've played. Apparently Warriors of Rock is pretty good. It's the most expensive one, about like 30-40 bucks on Wii. Yeah, I played these on PS2. Even this one I played on PS2. Such an awesome game. The boss fights are super sick. Just the best rhythm games are the Guitar Hero games. Gun I've not played too much of. I have no idea how long I've been recording. This one may go on for a little longer. But Gun, this is another game I played with a later neighbor. There was 2 sets of neighbors. The first one moved out, the second one moved in. This is the second set, who also showed me Bully. But man, I remember watching him play this, and I played a little bit of it, but this game seems really cool. I do want to check it out eventually, but yeah, no rating. Oh, dude, Hacknet. If you want to feel like you're, yeah, like I'm in, you want to feel like you're, what is it called? Robo with Rami Malek. I don't know. I can't remember the name of the TV show, but if you want to feel like you're in that TV show, you're just hacking shit and you feel like you're doing stuff when you're really not, and it's this easy, it looks just like this. Such a super sick game. Super fun. The final mission, or one of the final missions, is like you have to hack into an airplane's control system and make it land because there's like terrorists on it. Super sick game. Yeah, awesome game. Hades, I'm kind of surprised I gave this a 4.5. I kind of want to go down to a 4. Yeah, I'm gonna go down to a 4. I don't know, dude. Roguelites and roguelikes are such, I don't know. I don't enjoy them because they rely on you wanting to play them over and over again once you've beaten them once. Now, I'll admit, this is like one of the good ones, but I haven't played a lot of them. Like, Risk of Rain 2 is better than Hades. Let's get that off the table. Risk of Rain 2 is better than Hades. I think Enter the Gungeon is more fun than Hades. It's more diverse than Hades. There's a lot more build variety. I've not played Binding of Isaac or, you know, like Rogue Legacy. I played a little bit of Slay the Spire, but I don't know. This game's kind of carried by its presentation, I think. Facing the same boss every single run through at each chapter at the same time, it just gets old. Like the goddamn serpent fight, the bone cobra, that fight got so annoying after like the 3rd time. I beat it 3 times. I did 3 run-throughs to this game, and I don't know, after the first time it fell off so quickly, and I was not interested enough in the story or the characters. So shit, like 3.5. I did just shit on it for like a minute straight. Maybe it's just not for me, you know. Let's just say that. Oh, dude, Half-Life 1 and 2 and Alex. Yeah, I'm just gonna give it away right now. The first Half-Life, fantastic, except for the ending. I do not like the last like hour and a half of this game when you're in the alien world or the alien dimension. That part's pretty lame. Everything before that, fantastic. This is an incredible game, still holds up today. And this game, again, I don't factor importance of like how much impact this game had on the industry, or else this would be a 5 out of 5. Because if you don't know, Half-Life really changed the way that first-person shooters were made. There was before Half-Life where you had like Doom, Quake, everything was like a corridor shooter, Duke Nukem, and then there's after Half-Life, where you had this story, you had these huge huge open zones you could explore, and Half-Life is a continual playthrough. I don't think there's any like black loading screens or anything. You go from zone to zone, and it just like there's a loading, like it just says loading, and then you go in. Like games like this did not exist before Half-Life. So yes, it's a super important game, but it's also a fantastic game. Super, super fun. And then of course, Half-Life 2, this is a top 15 game all time for me. Kind of similar to Half-Life 1 in that you didn't have games, and you still don't really in first-person shooters that have guided, you know, not open worlds. This game has really big environments, and it just kind of leads you in the right direction through its world design, or through its level design, I should say. It's so clever. It's such a clever game. The gunplay is really fun. The story is, you know, it's fine. It's nothing fantastic. But man, this is such a awesome first-person shooter. And the physics system rocks. The portal, the gravity gun is so sick. And again, there's so many inventive like gameplay moments that happen because of that physics system. But it's a fun game to play. It's also just a fun world to explore and interact with as you're going through it. There are so many different environments you come across in Half-Life 2. But yeah, awesome game. One of the best of all time. And then the VR mod, again, I played, this is the most recent version I've played. Super fun. It is just Half-Life 2 in VR. It's so sick. But man, Half-Life Alyx, this is the best VR game. And it has been for 5 years. God, where do I even start with this? The game looks fantastic. The gameplay rocks. It is so polished. And when it comes to VR games, you never really get the feeling that this is, especially at this time, it didn't take until a couple years ago with Assassin's Creed, or maybe, yeah, a year and a half ago with Assassin's Creed Nexus, where it's like, oh, this is like a true AAA game. But even Nexus doesn't feel like that. This is like the VR game. It is the best one that we have right now, probably that we will have for a while. I hope they make a sequel. I know people will just be more pissed off that it's another VR game, so we won't get that. But man, so many great gameplay moments. There's Jeff, the one super messed up like zombie or whatever you want to call it. That part is incredible. Fantastic game. Halls of Torment is Vampire Survivors mixed with like Diablo. And not just in the design, there's like gear pieces and there's like loot to collect in this game, which I do respect them for trying something different with this game. I did not play too much of it though, because I have played Vampire Survivors before, and I'm just constantly thinking I could just be playing Vampire Survivors instead. It doesn't feel as polished as Vampire Survivors, but maybe if I put more time into it, I'd appreciate it more. But it's still really good. Again, 4 out of 5. Definitely recommend it, and I bet it's super cheap. The Halos. Okay, I'm gonna have to come clean here. I've not played Halo 3's campaign. I played its multiplayer plenty, but I've not played its campaign. I just need to come clean with that. Now Halo 1 and 2 I have played and I've beaten. Halo 4 I've beaten, Halo Reach I've beaten, but 3 I've not played the campaign. Multiplayer, fantastic. I played it on the Master Chief Collection, all their multiplayer maps. Super fun. My favorite multiplayer probably is Halo 3. I do need to play through this. This is really the only one I need to play through. This and ODST, but again, so that's 3. The first Halo, I played all these on Master Chief Collection. I shouldn't say that. I played this, and this 1 through 3 on the Master Chief. 4 and the Reach I played on 360. But man, I was shocked. The campaign rocks in this game, and the multiplayer is fun too. Although it turns into like just playing pistol. The campaign, like, I was expecting to go into this and thinking, oh yeah, it's, you know, there's vehicle combat, there's some really cool and wacky gameplay moments, I'm sure, but it's probably gonna feel stale. You know, this game's 23 years old. Surely I've experienced a lot of this. No, this game rocks. The single player game rocks because, again, the vehicle combat, super fun. You have these huge levels that you can just explore. Same thing with 2. to an extent, but just a little better. And I beat this on legendary, and I beat this on the difficulty below legendary, because this was rough on legendary, but man, was it fun. Halo 2, again, another fantastic campaign. You have the Arbiter missions as well that are, you know, still pretty fun. I'd prefer Chief's missions. Interesting, I give it a 4. I don't want to factor the multiplayer in too much, but the multiplayer is also really good. They bumped this up to a 4.5. It's better than the first one. Like, that's bar none. But yeah, again, this game kind of, I mean, I'm about change the game. This game definitely changed the game in terms of multiplayer, mission design, level design. And then 2 just kind of took it to the next level in terms of multiplayer. But again, the campaign's really good. I would say more of the same of the first one, except the Arbiter missions. And the multiplayer, I say, is like objectively better. Halo Reach. Let's do Reach. This one's purely based off a childhood ranking. This is the only one that I played a lot as a, like, I was like 14 or 15 when I played Reach, like middle school into high school. I would go to my friend's house, and there's one map, I think it's called The Spire. Yeah, Spire. Dude, we would just load up this one map, and this is all we played. This is all we did, was just do this map, and we would play it for hours because it was just so much fun getting the what is this, not a Banshee? Yeah, Banshee? Is it a Banshee or a Ghost? Please tell me I got it right. Banshee, yeah. Getting in the Banshee, flying around, jumping off the spire, trying to guess where the other person would go, and like hijacking them mid-flight. Like, so many awesome memories in that. And then I got the game myself and beat the campaign, and the campaign I really liked as well. So yeah, 4 out of 5. I think that's pretty easy. If I was gonna go a little bit more subjective, maybe a 4.5 out of 5, but I'll keep it at a 4 out of 5. And then Halo 4. Halo 4, never played the multiplayer, only played the single player. And this is my first campaign that I played of Halo. And I thought it was cool at the time. I enjoyed it. I beat it pretty quickly. I don't know if I would feel the same if I played it now, but we're gonna keep it at a 3.5. I don't remember much. I liked the weapons. I thought the enemies looked cool. Don't remember much about the story though. So, you know, this may be subject to change. Hard Bullet is a VR game that tries to be like John Wick VR, and it kind of misses. Just doesn't have the sauce. He says every enemy's inebriated. I think it's not really that, although that's true. I don't know, like you feel like you're lagging a little bit when you play this game. There's not a lot of polish. The guns sound pretty bad. There's not a lot of kick when you fire them. There's melee combat, which sucks. The melee combat sucks in this game. It doesn't do anything really fantastic. It's just fine. So 2.5 I think is fair. Okay, the Harry Potter games, and we'll end after Hello Neighbor. So these are all based off my childhood. I played all of these when I was a kid, or in the case of Deathly Hallows, like close to when they came out, because I was a huge Harry Potter fan. So I'll try with, I have not played the first one, the Sorcerer's Stone, the Philosopher's Stone. I just didn't have it, but man, I loved these games, with the exception of Goblet of Fire. I loved these games. It was just so cool. Now this is purely subjective. I don't know if I would give it the same rating if I played today, but what I really liked about this game, this one in particular, you got a broom and you could fly around Hogwarts in 2002, and like it was a super accurate Hogwarts. Like it felt really good. I've not played Hogwarts Legacy, but I'm sure it'd be a similar feeling to someone who's never played a Harry Potter game playing Hogwarts Legacy for the first time and flying around Hogwarts. It's a really surreal feeling, and the combat was really cool. There were duels that were really cool. There's one portion of this game, it's in the beginning, where you're trying to like steal a book or something, because you go through the market in the beginning and you have to be stealthy. And I was always scared as a kid of the shopkeeper, because he was like some old dude who would just creep up on you, and there was like a loud sting. But no, this is a childhood game. This and Prisoner of Azkaban, not on Windows PC, on PS2. More of the same, but you could play as Harry, Ron, and Hermione. You could swap them out, and they all had like their own quirks or their own spells. I forget. This is the very beginning of the game against the Dementor in the train. But yeah, more of the same. Really good puzzles I remember in both of those games, 2 and 3. But yeah, total childhood picks for me. Goblet of Fire tries to be, it's totally different. It's not like any of the other Harry Potter games that I know of, but it tries to be like, I don't know how you would describe it, not really like Gauntlet, Dark Legacy, but that's the only game I can really relate it to, where it's like an action game. It's a top-down action game. Does not work. Just does not work. Order of the Phoenix. So this game, what I loved about this game is that it is a super detailed Hogwarts castle, and you get to explore every nook and cranny of it. And the combat was interesting. You use the right stick to draw out the right stick moved your wand. If you did certain movements, it did certain spells. But man, as a kid, this game hit. Just exploring Hogwarts, finding all of its secrets was so much fun. Criminally underrated. And now again, I haven't played it in over a decade, but 3 stars? We serious? So Deathly Hallows Part 1 and 2. These are first-person shooters, in case you didn't, or third-person shooters, in case you didn't know. I'm sure people don't like it. I played it. I thought it was fine. I didn't mind the fact that you could just use your wand as a machine gun, essentially. Thought it was fine. I think the second one was better. Let's see if people agree. Couldn't tell you why. I think I just liked it. Something about when you're thinking about rating these games, any game, and you give it it's been a long time since you've played it, you kind of have to go off your gut reaction of how you felt when you were playing it at the time. And you do get these images in your head of you playing it in certain events. You kind of have to go off those. But I do remember slightly liking this one more, and it seems I'm correct. At least according to the general audience. Again, totally fine games. Hat in Time, awesome 3D platformer. I'd say it's one of the, like, definitely a top 10 3D platformer all time for me. Does it deserve a 5? Maybe. It's been a minute since I've played it. But I remember the levels were so cool. They were so unique. And the platforming itself was so precise, so tight. Really cool mechanics. But yeah, awesome game. I do want to check this out again in the future. Hearthstone. I did not play a lot of Hearthstone, but of what I did play, I can tell you this is a very deep card game. And we'll get into one more card game that I've played enough to rate, and it's my favorite, and I gave it a 5. But yeah, like this game's hard, dude, because everyone who plays it nowadays is just super good at it. And they have all these decks that are meta decks. Like, having to go into it new kind of sucks. It's been a couple years since I've played Hearthstone, but I played it mostly on my phone. But I had a lot of time with it, despite losing almost every game. Heavenly Sword. So this is Team Ninja, right? Ninja Theory, who also makes... They made the Vader Immortal games. I've played these, by the way. I played all of these. They made Enslaved. And yeah, Hellblade's their big thing. Okay, they made Bleeding Edge. Remember Bleeding Edge? This is the like Overwatch clone, I think. Okay. Microsoft's Concord. Okay, this dude's like probably 13 years old. Making a Concord reference in regards to Bleeding Edge. Oh no, I see what he's saying. Like, it did just fail on release. Now Concord's obviously a bigger failure, but never played Bleeding Edge. Vader Immortal. Let me go through these. I played all of these. I could just give one straight up. Yeah, I'm just gonna do that. As a whole, this game, you know, I played it recently. One of my first VR games. Like a 3. It's fine. The combat really sucks until the third episode. The third episode's really good. Combat sucks, but it is cool seeing Vader in person. The Star Wars universe is pretty fleshed out in this one. It is a little simple. But Heavenly Sword. Back to Heavenly Sword. We'll refresh this. If you don't remember Heavenly Sword, it came out on the PS3. I don't think it was a launch title on PS3. Is my internet down? Hello? Okay. Whatever. Let's wait for that to come back. But Heavenly Sword, it's a hack and slash. It's like Bayonetta, not nearly as fast as Bayonetta, but I remember one part in this game that I really loved as a kid. 2007. It's close. I think that may be a release game. Infinitely clunky. I don't remember that. But the PS3 had the DualShock controller, so you had gyro controls, and there was a bow and arrow section. You would shoot your bow, and then you would control the arrow with your PS3 controller, and that was so much fun. There were 2 levels dedicated to just that. But the combat itself is also really, really cool. The set pieces are super over the top. I remember the ending. I think it's at this huge battlefield, and you're just cutting dudes up left and right. Yeah, really, really cool game. It may be higher if I play it again today. I'm kind of shocked it's sitting below a 3. Heavy Rain. Okay, so this is similar to what game was it? I haven't played it, but I've seen a full playthrough. There are these guys on YouTube. Oh my god, is their name Far From Subtle? Yeah, these guys. I'm not, again, the last time they've posted is probably years ago. They're still posting? Dude, hell yeah. But I watched a lot of these of their playthroughs, but one that I watched all the way through was Heavenly Rain. Or Heavy Rain. And I thought, you know, it looked fine. It's cute, but I can't say much about it. Based on that one interview, the game itself looks fine. The playthrough was really fun with those guys. That was a long time ago. Hellblade. Hellblade is a really, really cool game. You need to play it with headphones on because the whole gimmick is your character has psychosis or something else. Psychosis. And she hears noises that aren't there, and it's a super effective gameplay mechanic where you'll just be walking and then whispers will come into your ear, giving you hints on where to go next. The combat, you know, kind of mid, but just Senua's journey through this really, really cool environment, this really dark Nordic setting, it was super, super cool. I love this game. Kind of debating giving it a 4. Sure. I think I remember fondly enough to give it a 4. I've not played 2 yet. I've heard it's pretty mid, so I may not play it. Finally, Hello Neighbor. 1.8? Why? What does 2 have? 1.8? I played this. I think I got pretty far, but I remember this game being pretty fun. Trying to figure out how to get to like the top of the house, or no, you had to get like a key to the basement or something, but the house changed every single time. And just figuring it out, this like puzzle game. Now I'm sure it was janky. This game is not good. This game that sounds interesting on paper, maps that have no set way to be completed with involving AI, but neither of these core ideas is fully realized. No solution sounds cool, but in Hello Neighbor it's just really confusing. The direction was just aimless wandering. Maybe. Wow, this game played it on iOS, gave it a 5. Okay, this dude is probably a child, but I remember having a good time with it. If I had to rate it just off my initial experience, I'd give it like a 3, 3.5. A 1.8 is kind of crazy. No plans to go back to it. Maybe if it's a short game, I assume, so I may go back to it. Okay, here is the preview for the next episode, and I will see y'all then.